gotta backtrack. And you should've kept my name out your mouth. Fast though how it all turned out. When you try to use my name for clout, keep on going, give me something you can talk about.
Girl, what? Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. How you doing this fine? Whatever the day of the week it is. What is it, Monday? Sorry, I'm just like getting my thoughts together. I've been doing 473 other things. Hello. Diamond Rainbow in the chat. Shout out to you. Shout out to Rhiannon. Shout out to Meet Bob, Cora, Tech Nikki, Ashley, Leia. Hello. Come in. Okay. All right. So today it was just announced this morning. News to me. This may be on. I was trying to get away with not having to turn this on. I guess I kind of need it. Okay. So let me see. Yes, JC. I spent like all yesterday morning reading it. It was, honestly, that's like, I'm still a little bit shook from it. Everybody, I would strongly recommend, excuse me, because I am going to be making like probably several videos based on some of the things that this article was able to put together. But if you haven't already, and we'll talk a little bit more about it whenever we have some downtime during this, because, you know, sometimes there's downtime. But right now, welcome. You are here for the Diddy arraignment just this morning. Let me pull up the docket. Just this morning, Diddy has been called to the courthouse for an arraignment today at 2 p.m., which is like, you know, in 1 minute. We are going to be reading live tweets from inside the courthouse. Cameras are not allowed in general, and cameras are not allowed in Diddy's case right now. But we do get a little bit of information, and we have Inner City Press in the courtroom. So he's man, I've been finding myself getting like confused over details of certain cases from time to time and like what happened where and when. This man, Matthew Russell Lee. Yeah, I think that's his name. Inner City Press on Twitter. That's how we're able to do this. So yeah, and he has like a bone to pick with the UN. So he's the one that's going to be inside there. So it looks like he hasn't started to tweet about it yet, but he did say this morning that he was going to be inside of the courtroom. So we will be checking in with that. But in the meantime, let's check up on why and how we knew about this anyway, or how I did. Maybe you found out about it from me. But this is how I found out about it. Docket number 226 is an order. So imagine me waking up, you know, early this morning and seeing this order. 442. It wasn't even very early this morning because I start checking the docket when I wake up and start working, which is usually between like 5:30 and 6:30 a.m., just depending on factors. So it was like when I first checked, it wasn't up. But look, there's an order and it says the defendant will be arraigned on the April 3rd superseding indictment on April 14th at 2 p.m. And it's like, I was even chatting with someone earlier on Twitter DM. Somebody had sent it to me and was like, I saw you're going live, but like, why do you think that? Why do you think there's going to be arraignment? I thought it wasn't until the 25th. And I was like, yeah, me too. But it popped up on the docket. And then they were like, oh, okay, yeah. Actually, no, now I see it. Hey, Anon. Who else is in here? Hello, Kat. Hello, Better Run. Hello, Artist. So, let's see if Matthew Russell Lee has tweeted anything yet. I do have that document. I downloaded it and I'll pull it up so that y'all can see what it looked like. I just don't want to miss the beginning of the Diddy stuff. Okay, no, he hasn't started yet. Okay, so I'm going to pull the document up just to let y'all see. Again, we haven't it hasn't started yet. So we're just kind of like wasting time until the trial starts, but it's not really wasting time because I'm going to show y'all the actual order. I just don't want y'all to think we're like, missing that. I'm checking in on it. Okay, here's the order. Docket number 226. Excuse me. And this is it. This is the whole order right here. Boom. The defendant will be arraigned on the April 3rd, 2025 superseding indictment. That's the third one. So he's already been arraigned on the first one. I don't know if he's been arraigned on the second one. No, he never got officially formally arraigned on the second one because this third one superseded it before that. So then the third one was going to end up being the one that was going to be, he was going to be arraigned on. I thought maybe he was going to be arraigned at the last hearing, but then I ended up being wrong about that. But maybe he was supposed to be and he wasn't. And that's why this had to be scheduled like this. But I was wondering, did the lawyers on either side have any notice before today? Because this just hit the docket today. And when I was looking at Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press's Twitter this morning, he did make a video, like a short, he went live on Twitter. And when he went live on Twitter, he was like, this just hit the docket this morning. It's like a surprise arraignment. So it's kind of like a surprise arraignment. He has not tweeted yet about Diddy's case, but he did tweet. Let me see if I can find that one earlier. That one, he's following the Sarah Palin case. He has a whole song. He wrote like an original song about Sarah Palin's trial. Okay, no, not that. I'm looking for the one. Yeah, here. Let me turn it up. I don't know if y'all are going to be able to hear it. No.
New York Courthouse today, Monday, April 14th, 2025. Today is the jury selection in Sarah Palin versus New York Times, round 2. We live tweeted the final pre-trial conference on Friday, and we'll be covering the case. I don't think the openings will happen today. So also today, the ending of the government's case in U.S. versus Nadine Menendez, to be followed by the defense case that we'll be covering. I think will be quite a bit shorter.
Do y'all see what I mean? He covers like all these cases at once all the time. He's hustling out here.
And I think that trial will be wrapped up this week, wrapped up in a bow. Meanwhile, at 2 p.m. today, U.S. versus Sean Combs. Suddenly, it was only announced this morning, arraignment on the superseding indictment, 2 p.m. We'll be aiming to live tweet that. And of course, the jury selection on that is supposed to begin May 5 and opening arguments May 12th. We'll have to see. Both sides have put in their proposed jury questions. We're covering it closely, as we did Friday. Friday, we stumbled onto this case of
okay,
tennis.
So that was like all that he really said about the Diddy thing, I think. So he did say he'll be covering it. Diddy Docket just announced this morning, 4 hours ago. Arraignment 2 p.m. today on superseding indictment, U.S. versus Sean Combs. Short notice. Yeah, Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's I got too much stuff open, I think. Let me just close some things. UN has banned the Inner City Press. Okay, now 1 minute ago. Here we go. He's tweeted. Okay, now. At U.S. versus Sean Combs arraignment on superseding indictment and run up to trial set to start May 5th. Inner City Press wrote the books. He has 2 books on this. If y'all want to check those out, you can find them at his link. I linked his Twitter in the description box. So we are waiting for the trial. for the hearing to start. Now, I was wondering earlier, how much notice did Diddy's lawyers and the government and them have? Like, was Mark Agnifilo scheduled to be deposing somebody for 10 hours today and he had to run to the courthouse for Diddy? Did they maybe have some advance notice that today they would need to come in for the arraignment? Was there some behind the scenes stuff going on that we didn't see? Okay, I'm refreshing. Let's see if we have any. Yep, Sean Combs is brought in. So they got him here. They got him here today, y'all. He is brought in, white hair and a short beard. His hair is fully white. Last time, I think it was like, silvery gray. But breaking news, you heard it here first. That surprise witness TV trademark. Okay, you heard it here first. Diddy has white hair and a short beard, chatting with his 2 lawyers at the defense table. There are 6 people at the prosecution table waiting for the judge. Dot, 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 dot. Okay, so we're waiting for the judge. Nice. Thank you very much. And y'all can support Matthew Russell Lee, Inner City Press, by going to his channel. He has all his links and everything over there. It's linked in the description box, but he also has a Patreon. He puts the court documents out for not only this case, but for a lot of the cases he follows. I understand he has the cases up and the paperwork is up, and he keeps it up to date from what I understand. So, you know, I think if you're a member of his Patreon, you do get those documents. So he's inside right now. He's inside the courthouse, inside the courtroom, rather, with Diddy. And do y'all know that this trial is supposed to last between 8 to 10 weeks, Monday through Friday, every day? So can you imagine that you are going to be sitting here listening to me reading live tweets for 8 to 10 weeks every single day? Woo! This is like on hard mode, y'all, because there's no television. There's no televised, like, let's all do a body language analysis. Like, we're going to be doing this for 10 weeks. Hopefully, Matthew Russell. Okay, we got additional replies. Okay, let me go back to his main page again, because it did say additional replies. No. White hair. Okay, so if y'all just got here, breaking news, Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs has white hair. Last time it was gray. Now it's white. Okay, so he must have been using the Just for Men, or he has stressed so significantly in the past 1 year that his hair has turned straight up white. Perhaps some combination of both. If you're just getting here, hello, thanks so much for joining. Click the like, hit the like, hit the like. And we are reading live tweets from inside the courtroom. Matthew Russell Lee, he is Inner City Press. He's giving us the live tweets from inside the courtroom, Southern District of New York. The only thing that's happened so far is Diddy is in here. He's talking to his lawyers. He's got white hair and he's got a beard. That's all we know so far. This arraignment on the 3rd superseding indictment, which, I mean, I think that means it's the 4th actual indictment. I thought this was scheduled for the last time they had court. I really did. I thought that this was he was supposed to already be arraigned, and maybe that's why it had to get rushed. Maybe it wasn't rushed, but it appeared to me that this wasn't previously planned, and there's another Diddy account, another person who, you know, account that follows the Diddy stuff that also took it the same way, as well as Matthew Russell Lee. Now, while we're waiting for more tweets, and, you know, while I have you here, I will be updating as soon as he does tweet something. I'll stop whatever I'm doing and prioritize the incoming news, but, you know, I'll kind of fill in the dead space in the middle in the meantime. I am waiting for the next tweet. It doesn't appear that the judge has even arrived yet. It is only 2:11. Usually the judge can take up till about, you know, 2:15, even 15 minutes, sometimes even 20 minutes. So it doesn't even appear that the judge has come in yet. So I do want to tell y'all, somebody mentioned it earlier whenever I first came on the live, that Whitney Webb, who I am familiar with, I've heard of her before. A lot of y'all have said before, you know, that I would appreciate her work and stuff. She certainly does go very deep, so it's kind of hard to know where to exactly start, but she's an author, she's a journalist. Still nothing. Oh, wait, hold on. There's comments here. What are the comments? Let me go back to his page. But I read she and another journalist, investigative journalist, have written, I mean, something that is just, y'all, it's just so impressive. Okay, still the most recent tweet is still the waiting for the judge tweet. Anyway, so y'all, that she has put together so much stuff. I mean, a lot of the stuff in there, of course, is stuff that like was already known, but the way she put it together and some of the stuff she found, I did not know. Oh my gosh, like I feel like my brain has been scrambled from learning all this information. It's like it's tying into the mafia, it's tying into CIA, it's tying into freaking everything. Bill Clinton enters the chat. Yeah, it was like, they don't really make them like that anymore. You know what I mean? Like they don't do journalism like that anymore. I mean, this is something that is so next level. I have to tip my hat. I had to tip my hat. It was like it's, I don't get impressed by people too easily. I'm impressed. Color me impressed. So so she has more parts coming. Y'all, it took me hours. I took pages and pages and pages of notes. I'm drawing, I'm in the web, I'm in the notebook. I'm like, you got to go read it. And it's going to have more parts coming. Yeah, no, I mean, definitely. It was so impressive. I hope I hope she finds out about Lou Taylor. Somebody tell her. Okay, let's see. I'm waiting for Matthew Russell Lee to give us some more tweets about what's going on inside of here. Nothing new. Let's see. Maybe if I go back to his main page. I don't know. It's like I'm always just clicking around, bumbling around here. Oh, he's tweeting about Menendez. That's why he ain't tweeting about Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. Y'all, we got to get somebody. Oh, that's so sweet. Someone said, thanks, Inner City Press. Watching your posts on That Surprise Witness. Nice. Oh, we got something 1 second ago. New tweet. Okay. All rise. Judge comes in. Mr. Combs, have you seen the April 3rd indictment? Yes, I do, Judge. How do you plead? Not guilty. Then the judge looks to Mark Agnifilo and says, Mark Agnifilo, what can you tell me? And Agnifilo says, this superseding indictment has a substantial new charge, Agnifilo says. Okay, so that's what, okay, so far. Let's see if anything else. I love when we get a new tweet. Nope. Oh my God. Put a 10 in the chat if you're excited to do this for 10 weeks. Refreshing Twitter all day. Oh man, I hope he covers the whole trial. So that's the most recent tweet, is just that all rise. The judge comes in, asks Diddy if he has seen the indictment, the new superseding indictment, the third superseding indictment from April 3rd. Diddy said, yeah, I saw it. And he pled not guilty. Okay, breaking news. Diddy got white hair. He got a short beard and he pled not guilty. Okay, breaking news. Judge looks to the lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, who's also Luigi Mangioni's lawyer. Don't know if y'all knew that. It's not just the wife. He looks to Agnifilo. The judge says, what can you tell me? Agnifilo says, there's substantial new charge. Is he about to ask for more time? Okay, nothing new. Let's try my little other trick I did. I don't know if that actually worked or if it was just like updating at that exact moment anyway, because it did say 1 second ago. Okay, yeah, no, that's the most recent tweet, the one we just read. Okay, all right. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. No, I don't think he'll ask for another bond hearing. Yeah, Victoria, I'm telling you, that was the breaking news. No hair dye in the commissary. See, I thought it was like really, I thought it was like one of the easier things to come by in the jail is like hair dye or ways to dye your hair. I'm really excited to, wait, what does this say? Really excited to be with you and everyone for 10 weeks. The community comes together is incredible. Yeah, well, this is the only place y'all can meet because I don't have a Discord and I ain't getting one. So this is the only place you're going to be able to meet. Okay, let's see if he said anything else since that tweet. Looks like no. I got to get like a better internet before that because my mouse starts dancing around. Oh, it's taken up significant memory. Oh, hush. My mouse starts dancing around. I have to chase it around the screen. Okay, we got a new one. We got a new tweet. Attention, alert, breaking. New tweet. It is Agnifilo. He's continuing on from the substantial new charge thing he just said. We'd like to discuss a 2-week postponement of openings. I knew it. I felt it. I felt it in my soul. Mark Agnifilo wants to discuss postponing the opening statements by 2 weeks due to, quote, discovery issues. I don't want to disrupt the jury selection process. Then he turns to his, really, I think it's his like business partner's daughter, Teeny. What's her name? I think her name's Teeny Garagos. And she says, I filed my letter under seal. The problem that we see is with discovery about alleged victim 2. Okay, so again, this is the second time we've had one of these pretrial hearings where they're talking about stuff that was filed under seal. So we, the public, we don't know what they're talking about. This lady, this lawyer, one of Diddy's lawyers, she filed a letter under seal, and she's predicting that they're going to have a problem with discovery regarding alleged victim number 2. Now, Mark Agnifilo says because of this, they want to discuss a 2-week postponement of opening statements. Now, opening statements right now are scheduled to begin on May 12th. The jury selection will begin on May 5th. So he's saying we want to still do jury selection, but then we want to just push everything else off by 2 weeks because of some victim 2 discovery issue, which is a secret from the public and is sealed as of right now. Okay, that is the most recent tweet. I'm trying my little way. Okay, so that seems to be the most recent tweet. This is interesting. And they don't ever want us to know. Just to remind y'all, the feds, the government, they do not want us to know who is victim 2. They do not want us to know who is victim 3, nor 4, nor 5. No, I don't think there is a 5. Beep. They don't want us to know who victim 2, 3, or 4 are. Ever. Not even just like, okay, for the pending duration of the trial or anything like that, like ever. And then there's also some other people that they're trying to bring in. And if you haven't watched my video about how this Harvey Weinstein case is related to Diddy's and how it could ultimately end up in Diddy getting a mistrial or a retrial, both, then you really should go and watch that, because they are doing, I believe they're making the same mistake in this Diddy case, the feds are, that they made in the Harvey Weinstein case, which allowed his thing to get overturned. Y'all know Harvey Weinstein, his jury selection starts tomorrow in this jurisdiction. Oh no, sorry, excuse me, in this state, but it's not Southern District. Okay, so we got another tweet in the Diddy case from inside the courtroom. The lawyer says, we've resolved that. Okay, so they resolved some issue having to do with the victim 2 discovery. She says, but the alleged victim of the forced labor predicate, she was employed there for a significant period of time. She has been small c cooperating with the U.S. She has taken screenshots, but the rest, the U.S. has not taken possession of. Okay, so previously there was some type of issue that they were going to see coming up with victim 2. That's resolved. Now we have another issue, because now with the superseding indictment number 3, the one we're here for arraignment on today, Diddy's lawyers are saying we have an issue with this indictment because it alleges forced labor, a forced labor charge, which he hasn't previously been indicted on. And now this alleged so-called forced labor person, he or she, I think it's she's been kind of cooperating with the government, but not like capital C, cooperating witness, confidential informant, cooperating witness, signed papers, entered into agreement, but more just like, she's been cooperative with them. So because of that, they see an issue getting the discovery, the screenshots. This person was apparently an employee of Diddy for a long time. She is cherry picking messages. We just get a brand new tweet right now. She is cherry picking messages, Diddy's lawyers are saying. There are 100,000 emails and messages the U.S. is not taking possession of. Diddy's Combs Global was subpoenaed, but we don't have her company emails 3 weeks before trial. Wait a second. Is this Lou Taylor? Is this Lou Taylor? Is this Lou Taylor? Is this Lou Taylor? Combs Global? Combs Global? Wait. Is she turning on Diddy? I need a fan. Whew! Okay. I'll have a fan. Hold on. Oh my God, y'all, I finally put batteries in my remote. Oh, does that make it better? It's not on. Well, the batteries aren't doing me any good. Okay, so in this most recent tweet, it's 4 seconds ago at the time of when we started reading it, Diddy's lawyer says she is cherry picking messages. Who's the forced labor? No, surely Lou Taylor isn't being forced labor. Maybe it's Christina Karam. There's 100,000 emails and messages the U.S. is not taking possession of. Combs Global was subpoenaed, but we don't have her company emails. I don't know who's her company emails, y'all. Who's cherry picking messages? This is victim 2. No, this is not victim 2. This is either victim 3 or 4. Somebody who was employed for a significant period of time. Victim. That would be so out of left field if Lou Taylor claimed to be victim. It's not. I don't think it's her. I don't think it's her. Okay, so we have another tweet. Oh, no, we don't. We may ask for a Rule 17 subpoena. Okay. 3 weeks before trial, we may ask for a Rule 17 subpoena. We don't have her company emails 3 weeks before trial. It's hard to know what's going on here, y'all, because what's being talked about in court right now is the subject of a sealed letter. So the judge and the lawyers all have information amongst them that we don't have. So we are just having to kind of piece it together. Diddy's lawyers are saying we have an issue. We may need to ask for 2 extra weeks before opening statements because we have a discovery problem. It's 3 weeks before trial. There's hundreds of thousands of emails, messages, 100,000 emails and messages. The U.S. has like a couple emails or a couple text messages from this alleged forced labor person. We need all of it. And how are we going to get it? So that seems to be what Diddy's lawyers are concerned about. And they seem to be asking if they can push it off for 2 weeks. Their opening statements. Let's see if anything else. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh my gosh, y'all. It's heating up. 28 seconds ago, the lawyer goes on, Diddy's lawyer. There are 3 screenshots of an incident that will be discussed at trial. 3 screenshots of an incident that will be discussed at trial. But the government now tells us she no longer has the whole WhatsApp chat. We're trying to wrap our arms around this. We're in an untenable position. Okay, so y'all, just about a minute ago, we have Diddy's lawyers talking about something that was previously sealed from the public, but we are getting a little insight here. There's going to be some screenshots of an incident we're going to see at trial, or we're not going to see them. They're going to be discussed because we're going to see about as much as we see right now. But the government now tells us that this forced labor trafficking victim, allegedly, that she no longer has the whole WhatsApp chat. She only has screenshots that are really incriminating. We're trying to wrap our arms around this, Diddy's lawyers are saying. We don't what are you just going to bring in this out of context evidence is what Diddy's lawyers are kind of arguing. So we're trying to figure out how we're going to deal with it. Let's refresh. Let's see if he's... No, nothing else yet. So yes, if you're just joining, breaking news, the most important things so far from the trial, from the arraignment hearing are Diddy has white hair now. It's not gray anymore. He has a short beard. I think he had a beard last time, so I don't think that's necessarily new, but he has white hair now instead of gray. And his lawyers are asking about the possibility of moving the opening statements for trial back 2 weeks. They are talking about doing this because of this forced labor alleged victim. The forced labor alleged victim has some selective cherry-picked WhatsApp screenshots, and she don't have the whole chat. She don't have the whole WhatsApp chat. So Diddy's lawyers are trying to figure out, because trial is supposed to start in 3 weeks. They need to read these 100,000 messages. They don't have the emails from the company. Okay, all right. The judge has spoken. The judge says, you call your request unusual, but the government calls it unprecedented. Can you cite a case? The judge is asking for some case law. He can't just go willy-nilly making his own rules. He would rather follow, case law, res judicata. Diddy's lawyer says there's an Avenatti case before Judge Foreman here. Here the harm is very great. The judge said can be weighed in the Nixon factors. I don't know what the Nixon factors are off the top of my head. But the judge is basically just inquiring on the legalities of what Diddy's lawyers are asking for, which is possibly up to 2 weeks, postponing the opening statements of trial, for trial. Again, if you are just joining for the first time, you may be hearing this, but for others, just to remind you, Diddy's lawyers are not asking to push back the jury selection process. They are still seemingly prepared to go forward on May 5th to start the jury selection process. Now, the questionnaires have come out public for that, and there's a few interesting things in there. It's so long and kind of tedious, and it's like building up to trial. I just feel sort of like beating a dead horse sometimes. So I don't know if I'm going to make a whole video on it, but there's some interesting stuff that does come up in the questionnaires. The government, the feds, and Diddy's lawyers do disagree on which questions should be asked in the questionnaire. I'm just refreshing here again to make sure nothing else is being said inside the courtroom. We are reading tweets that are being live tweeted from inside the courtroom. Most recent tweet was 2 minutes ago. Judge Subramanian was asking Diddy's lawyers to cite any precedent at all whatsoever for their request to possibly extend the time between after jury selection and before opening statements. They want to push opening statements back for 2 weeks. If you are just getting here, I did announce earlier in those questionnaires, both sides did say that they expected the trial to last about 8 weeks, with Mark Agnifilo and Diddy's side saying that they actually expected it to even maybe last longer. They provided an expanded window of 8 to 10 weeks. Now, this is news because originally this was going to be a 4-week trial. Then it was like 4 to 6. Now it's 8 to 10. So this is interesting. I mean, it's going to go all the way through the summer. Just refreshing again. I don't see anything new tweeted. There was discussion here from a tweet from 6 minutes ago. About 3 screenshots from an incident. So they're going to introduce at trial, or at least discussed at trial. There's going to be 3 screenshots of an incident. And but the government, they say that she no longer has a certain conversation. So that's interesting. There's going to be screenshots of maybe WhatsApp messages. Okay, we have another tweet, another update 25 seconds ago. We have Mark Agnifilo entering the chat. He says, I'm not sure the possession of the materials is the whole ball game. He's like, I'm not even sure we can stop it at just like possessing the materials. Like, we have some more issues going on. But the next statement we have is coming from the government, the feds, the assistant U.S. attorney, Christy Slavic. I think her first name is Christy. She says this arraignment was supposed to be later in the week. But on Saturday, y'all, on Saturday, 2 days ago, today's Monday, on Saturday, we learned that Diddy might be seeking an adjournment of the trial. This is not new conduct. Oh man, I wish I had more context for knowing what was going on in here. This arraignment was supposed to be later in the week. No, well, so we have the assistant U.S. attorney kind of like, but Your Honor, you're the one that made us have to come here early and on the last minute. Oh man, this is starting to be tense. Okay, let me see. I'm refreshing. What does this mean? This is not new conduct. This arraignment was supposed to be later in the week, but on Saturday we learned the defendant might be seeking an adjournment of the trial. I think that's what this is though, right? Like the pause would be called, yeah, like adjourned, court adjourned. Yeah, like for the day, like 2-week adjournment. The arraignment was supposed to be later in the week. On Saturday, we learned that Diddy. So on Saturday, they said that Diddy was going to try and push off for 2 weeks because of this WhatsApp stuff. Okay, so we got another tweet 5 seconds ago. The judge asks to the feds, would the government object to an adjournment on the discovery issues? And the Fed says, yes, we would object. We don't want that 2 weeks. No, we object. We told that our review of the victim 2's iCloud is complete. On victim 4, a month ago, we learned of additional emails, for example, to the defendant and others. Okay, so on victim 4, the feds say they learned of additional emails to Diddy. And so the assistant U.S. attorney said a month ago. But they would still object to an adjournment on discovery issues. They're saying there doesn't need to be any 3-week discovery. Diddy and his lawyers are saying 2 weeks, excuse me. Diddy and his lawyers are saying that they want to put a pause on the opening statements, that they want to kick the can down the road, that they want to have a time extension of 2 weeks to start their opening statement. So instead of May 12th, it would be like, the beginning of June or whatever. And then they're just saying that they finished the sweep through the iCloud account for the victim 2. So that discovery issue is already reconciled or whatever. Like we were, the government and the assistant U.S. attorney was Diddy's lawyers. What's her name? What's Diddy's lawyer's name? I'm blanking. Hold on. Garagos. Garagos was saying that they were expecting to, Garagos was saying that they were expecting to come in today and have to talk about something about victim 2, but that's resolved. Instead of talking about victim 2, now we're talking about, I think, victim 4, or it might be 3, but 4. So victim 2, there was this iCloud account issue that's resolved. But now the one with the forced labor, remember how there was like new charges added on with the forced labor? The forced labor issues, like we don't know about what's this WhatsApp. We want the WhatsApp stuff. That is the most recent tweet. 18 seconds ago, the assistant U.S. attorney speaks again, the feds. The government is not in possession of all these emails, nor are we in control of them. The judge says, okay, yeah, but is there law addressing that issue? That even if the government could get the emails, it's not control? Yes, we could get the court law on that after this hearing. I don't know what the judge is asking. Is there law addressing that issue, that even if the government could get the emails, it's not control? Oh, it's not control. Okay. Whew. All right. I think I do know what he's saying. Okay. You know how in the law words have meaning, like specific law meaning? It's not just any definition of the word control. It's like the legal definition. Like, what does it mean to control something legally? Capital C control, capital C cooperate. You see what I mean? Well, the judge is saying, okay, I'm not going to take your word for it, feds. Can you give me some case law that says what you're saying? You're just saying words. I need you to tell me your side has to be backed up by something. I can't take your word on it. Let's see. I'm refreshing. I think that's the most recent. Yeah, the feds just said, yeah, we could get you the case law after the hearing. I mean, I don't know why they couldn't have gotten it before. I guess that's why she said this hearing was supposed to be later this week. So she's like, I'm not really prepared. I'm not really prepared because this meeting was supposed to be next week. But she's like, yeah, we could get you the court. We could get the court law on that after this hearing. So we could get you the case law on it after this hearing. That's the most recent tweet. Nothing's been decided yet. If you're just joining, they are just kind of going back and forth over whether or not it's going to be allowable, even allowed for Diddy to have an extension of time on these opening statements or not. The judge is like, I can't just like spitball. Y'all need to like actually write it down. There is a new tweet 6 seconds ago. The judge said, what terms were searched? The assistant U.S. attorney said the defendant's name and some victims' names. The victim is represented by counsel. The defense doesn't have your communication with them. If you turn them over, it would obviate the need for adjournment. Okay. All right. Okay. Again, y'all, if you're just joining or if you're not, just to remind you, the discussion at hand here pertains to some sealed documents. There was a letter filed. It was sealed. So we're not exactly sure what's being talked about, but it's something to do with WhatsApp screenshots, messages. Something was searched. I don't know what the judge is precisely asking or why he's asking it, but the question that we're being told the judge is asking is, what terms were searched? And the feds said the defendant's name, so Diddy or Sean or Diddy or whatever, the person probably through the iCloud. It's probably the iCloud. And some victims' names. The victim is represented by counsel. Diddy doesn't have your communications with them, the counsel, the lawyers. If you turned them over, it would obviate the need for adjournment. So the judge is saying, Judge Subramanian is saying to the assistant U.S. attorney, why don't you just turn over your communications with the victim, the alleged purported victim's lawyer? Then there wouldn't need to be any adjournment. They would have everything you have. I think, I mean, I'm reading this just from this small tweet. This is what I'm having to like kind of put a little bit of meaning onto it. Matthew Russell Lee probably will go live after. He usually does. So make sure you're following him and all of that. I'm going to see if anything else has been tweeted. No. So the judge is seemingly trying to find a compromise because the judge asked the feds, he said, are y'all going to object? Do you have any objections to this 2-week pause? The 2-week, they're calling it an adjournment, but essentially it would just be a time extension, allowing Diddy and I guess all sides to resolve this like outstanding discovery issue. But the judge is saying, wait, is there going to still be an outstanding discovery issue if the feds just turn over everything they have about it on like to Diddy's lawyers and then we can move on? So that is the most recent thing that was discussed, and I'm waiting for the next tweet. Seems to be the most recent still. Still waiting. Do. All right, so we're just waiting. The current issue on the table is whether or not the law even allows for the judge to give Diddy another 2 weeks. The judge probably has a good idea of it, but if anything ever gets appealed, you're going to end up in a situation where the judge is going to have to like be able to put it in writing and defend why he made certain decisions. So if there's briefing and, actual black letter law on the issue, then he can just, decide from there instead of having to just pull it out of thin air. So they are discussing iCloud accounts being searched for victim 2. They're discussing the forced labor alleged victim, she apparently, we're learning today, worked for Diddy for a long time. She had a long-term employment relationship. So I do wonder if that is supposed to be Christina Karam. Is that supposed to be someone else we've never heard of? Who's the longtime employee? Is it Dawn? Is it Dawn Richard, perhaps? She's the one who's also suing now TriStar Sports and Entertainment, which is Lou Taylor's company. Lou Taylor's company also was mentioned by Lil Rod Jones. Oh, my Lord. Let's see. I am just refreshing. I'm not seeing any new tweets. It's been about 5 minutes since Matthew Russell Lee last tweeted. It's been 5 minutes. I guess let's see some of your chats. The employee chef, is she an actual victim being alleged, or is she just one of the witnesses? Yes, that would be very nice. Make sure y'all get y'all's merch too. They lied. Okay, Marie is saying victim 4 is Dawn Richard. Okay, good to know. I mean, obviously we don't know for sure because they never exactly said, but I know there's like ways to kind of like deduce certain details. I'm refreshing again to see the most recent tweet. Nope, still the most recent one is, what terms were searched? The judge asked. The defendant's name and some victims' names. The victim is represented by counsel. So the judge says if Diddy's lawyers don't have your communications with the other side's lawyers, if you turn them over, then we wouldn't need this 2 weeks. So can you just do that? That's the most recent thing that the judge proposed. And there hasn't been any new tweets. Even still. He's probably tweeting about another case. He's doing so much stuff at once. Oh, 4 seconds ago. Whew, thank God. Okay. So the assistant U.S. attorney, the feds, they say, okay, Your Honor, Diddy's lawyers already received our enterprise letter, and they already received our 3500 material. So if they are going to move for an adjournment, they should have made an application on that before this Friday's conference. Oh, they should make an application on that before this Friday's conference. So there's going to be a conference this Friday still. I don't have that written down. Oh, yes, I do. Questionnaires. Yes. Okay. So the government had requested a hearing. It's not on the calendar for sure yet, April 18th. But the government had requested a hearing on April 18th, which is Friday. And they had this is crazy. They had said if the judge doesn't know whose questionnaire to go with, Diddy's questionnaire or the feds, that instead of just making a decision, the judge should have a little bit of a hearing on the matter, which is Friday. So here's the assistant U.S. attorney saying, okay, well, we have that meeting Friday anyway, which the judge didn't grant it yet. They already received our enterprise letter. This is the feds talking about Diddy's lawyer. And they got our 3500 materials. If Diddy and them are going to move for a 30-day or for a 2-week postponement/adjournment, they should make an application before this Friday's conference or sooner. Like, what does that mean? Before or sooner? The judge says, if you make a defense, and he looks over to Diddy's lawyers, if you make a request, make it a rifle shot. What does that mean, Judge Subramanian? I don't know why I always get so tongue-tied over his name. Subramanian. What does that mean, make it a rifle pew-pew? Like, make it fast, make it loud, make it violent, make it dangerous? What does it mean? The feds tell the judge, Diddy's lawyers already got our enterprise letter and they already got our 3500 material. So if they're going to move for an adjournment, they need to do it soon. And the judge is like, if you make a request, Diddy's lawyers, make it a rifle shot. What does that mean? Is this boomer language? He's not even a boomer. He looks like a Gen Z. I mean, excuse me, not a Gen Z, a Gen X. Okay, that's the most recent thing. What does that mean? Somebody tell me. They're grabbing at straws. This case is not solid at all. Can we get a breaking news sound clip for new tweets? I know we need one. I need to set up. Y'all, I have one of those stream decks where you can press buttons. I just like need to set it up. And thank you so much too to you, Gaston, for the $1.99 super chat. I do need to get some little sound effects buttons for the trial. Make it count. Sarah says that means make it count. Make it count. Also a holiday, but not a state holiday. Jargon for something else. Yeah, it's just jargon for something else. Yeah, it is. It's like a turn of phrase, Squink. It's like a idiom. It's called an idiom. Oh, it's Passover today? Is that like a happy holiday? If so, happy Passover to those who are celebrating it. I don't know. Is it like a sad holiday? I don't know. Sorry. I don't really know. But I hope it's happy and happy that if y'all celebrate. Okay, let's see if any new tweets have happened. Okay, boom. Okay. Oh my God. Judge Subramanian. Well, I can't say his name. Judge Subramanian, yes, come through. He said, quote, "We are a freight train moving toward trial. If you are going to move for an adjournment, it will have to be in the next 48 hours. Let's turn to the Enterprise letters." He said, the government said our investigation remains ongoing. That's interesting. The judge just told them, we are a freight train. We together, we are a freight train and we are heading to trial. If you are going to move for a 2-week adjournment, you need to do it in the next 48 hours, the judge said. And then he said, now let's move to the Enterprise letters. The government said their investigation remains ongoing. It is interesting their investigation remains ongoing because it is 3 weeks before trial. I am just refreshing. What the hell? Hold on. I have been wondering this, Nicole Harris. Thank you for the $5 super chat. The only thing that makes me think he might not be a witness, Jonathan Oddie, is because either Diddy's side or the feds, I don't exactly remember right now off the top of my head because there's been so many documents lately, but one of the recent documents said that all 4 of the victims are women, long-term romantic partners and women. All 4 are women. So Jonathan Oddie wouldn't fit into that description, but maybe he's one of those like Harvey Weinstein type witnesses, like, the Molyneux witnesses or whatever, the ones that are like coming in about character, even though you're not supposed to be allowed to come in with those. Maybe Jonathan Oddie could be that. This case should surround the pink Tucci. It's popping up in clubs and campuses now. He had it on POS when arrested. Yes, it should. They should really talk about that. Okay, let me see. I got all out of sorts here. I got to go back to the Inner City Press account. Hold on, I'm pulling it up. Don't worry. The most recent tweet is still the most recent tweet. We didn't miss anything yet. Their investigation remains ongoing. The trial starts in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Well, the trial itself doesn't actually start in 3 weeks. What starts in 2 or 3 weeks is actually just the jury selection process. It's not actually the trial. Like, it's not opening. Oh, so it's like a freedom thing. Oh yes, hell yeah, freedom. I love that. Somebody said Jewish people celebrate angel passing over when the firstborn killed their freedom from Egypt. Yes, Slay. I love freedom. So happy. Yes, I love that. Okay. Hit the like. Thank you so much. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so there's different. That's why That's why I'm like, I'm never trying to say nothing. Like, I'm just trying to be, keeping it kosher, no pun intended. Okay. Okay, it might have been a little bit of pun intended, to be honest. Okay, the most recent tweet was still 4 minutes ago. We are a freight train moving toward a trial. That is what the judge had to say. We are a freight train moving toward trial. If you're just joining us, Diddy's lawyers are toying around with the idea of asking for 2 extra weeks between, the jury selection and their opening statements. They're trying to say that it's because of something to do with like a perhaps missing WhatsApp chat and the forced labor allegations. But the judge is kind of not really having it. The judge is saying, okay, well, if you're going to move for 2 weeks, we're a freight train heading toward trial, buddy. So if you're going to move, it needs to happen. You need to make the motion the next 48 hours because we're going to trial. Okay, I'm just refreshing and refreshing. I feel like Dory the fish. Just keep refreshing. Just keep refreshing. What do we do? Refresh, refresh, refresh. Okay, well, we're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. So the investigation remains ongoing is the last thing we heard from any of these people. I'm just scrolling down his page now. Okay. Okay, if you're gonna make a request, make it worth it. I think that's what the rifle shot thing means. Okay, so if you're just joining, I am here waiting for the next tweet. They're kind of going back and forth, excuse me, on whether or not it's even possible to get this 2-week extra thing or whatever. Like the judge doesn't really seem to be entertaining it too much. He doesn't seem poised to move it. He's like, we're a freight train. We're heading toward trial. It already was supposed to be 4 weeks, then it's turned into 10. Okay, so, but that's the most recent thing that's been tweeted. 11 seconds. Okay, cool. We got another tweet. Oh, there's a victim 5, everybody. There is a victim 5. Alert, alert. This is the first time I ever heard about a victim 5. Breaking news. There is a victim 5. Breaking news. I don't know. Maybe it's just breaking to me. Put a 5 in the chat if you never heard of victim 5 yet. As to victim 5, that is going to be Miss Shapiro's argument. Okay, Miss Shapiro, Alexandra Shapiro, another one of Diddy's lawyers at a different law firm. She's not here today, but she will be on Friday. That's what I'm saying. I don't think all the lawyers had like availability. Like I'm sure some of them had things to do today that they weren't able to just stop everything they were doing and rush to the SDNY courthouse. On Friday, then, I'll note that the government might have applied to me to amend the enterprise letter. What? Like ex parte? Oh, man, the government. Well, that would make sense because, oh, man, what is going on? See, again, y'all, this is a lot of stuff has been filed under seal. And maybe some of it's even filed under seal only ex parte to the judge. And maybe not even both sides know about it. This tweet from like a minute ago has Diddy's lawyer, Teeny Garagos, saying, as to victim number 5, that's going to be Alexandra Shapiro's argument. And she's not here today, but she'll be on Friday. So the judge is like, okay, so the victim 5 argument, we'll do that on Friday. But I'll note, the judge says, quote, that the government might have applied to me to amend the enterprise letter. Again, they are going to trial in 3 weeks. I hope that the enterprise letter has the co-conspirators because, I haven't heard any of them. Okay, so there's another tweet. The assistant U.S. attorney has said that is not the usual practice in Southern District of New York and Eastern District of New York, but we can do that. On 404B, if you can give us guidance for Friday, it would help. The judge said, I'll put myself on the 48-hour clock. So the judge is going to give the feds some guidance. The judge is going to give the feds some guidance in the next 48 hours on what to do about the 404B. 404B is an evidence rule. And that one is, if I'm remembering correctly, the one about other crimes of letting in the testimony of people who are purportedly victims. But it's victims of stuff that Diddy's never been charged for and he won't be charged for. It's not stuff that's up for dispute here. It's like other prior assaults from like 1989, alleged. Because again, y'all, he never was charged for them. He never was even sued for some of these. So I think that's the 404B. I did make a video on this. Y'all should go check that out. There's more, it's not like a live stream. It's a little bit more thought through. Okay, so the judge adjourned. The court is adjourned. See you Friday, court adjourned. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. So the problem is that there's so much stuff under seal. Who's victim 5? I mean, this seems new. Diddy has white hair. That was new. It's not gray anymore. It's white. Alexandra Shapiro is the victim 5 arguer, but she's not here today. We had something about not being able to get into email accounts. We had victim 4, I believe. Maybe it was 3, but there's a victim who was forced into forced labor, allegedly, according to the feds. And this purported so-called victim is in possession of some screenshots that might come up at trial. But Diddy's lawyers want those messages and stuff. And the government's like, well, we don't have those messages. And Diddy's lawyers are like, well, how do we know that? So they're kind of going back and forth on that. The only thing that got for sure decided today is Diddy pled not guilty. And that was the main purpose of the arraignment today. It was supposed to be Diddy's pleading guilty or not guilty, gets the charges read to him. But they did end up turning it into a little bit of a pre-trial hearing. And there's going to be another one on Friday. So I'll see y'all here. Same back time, same back place. Actually, I don't know what time it's going to be. But I'll keep you updated and I will cover it as well. And that's all I really have for today. I do want y'all to go over there to the Matthew Russell Lee Inner City Press, and he'll probably go live. I'm like hungry and I'm ready to go, but he'll probably go live and wrap up too. So y'all go check that out. That's all I really have for right now. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation.